Okay, the conjugate pairs theorem is very simply stated. If you have a complex number as a zero of a function of a polynomial, then its complex conjugate is also a zero. That's all it is saying. If you have a complex number for a zero, then the conjugate comes with it. It automatically just comes with it. All right, let's take a look at how this works. All right, we have a polynomial of degree 5. So what are they telling you when they say it has degree 5? Saying, hey, how many zeros does this thing have, right? It has how many zeros? Yeah, so they're telling you that up front. Okay, we have a polynomial of degree 5 whose coefficients are real numbers and has the zeros -2, -3i, and 2 plus 4i. So they gave you how many zeros? They gave you 3, and they want you to find the other 2. Where are you going to find them? What jumps out at you? The conjugates. How many complex numbers do we actually have for zeros? Yeah, we actually have 2, right? We have the -3i and we have the 2 plus 4i. So the -3i, he brings with him who? 3i, positive 3i, right? So we would have the -2, the -3i, the positive 3i, and what's our... And with our 2 plus 4i, he brings his conjugate, yes, which is 2 minus 4i. All right, so on number 7, what's the degree? What is the remaining zero? 4 plus I to go with him, the 4 minus I. On number 8, what is the third? 3 minus I goes with the 3 plus I. Number 9, they only gave you 2, so what are the other 2? With I comes -I, and the 1 plus I? 1 minus I. And number 10, they gave you 3 of them, so what's the remaining one? 2 minus I. Okay? We good with that? Okay. All right, so now we're going to actually look at, given our factors, and in this case we'll have our complex, how do we get our polynomial back? How do we get the polynomial back, okay? So now we're going to actually find the polynomial function with specified zeros. Did they give us 4 zeros? No. What's our fourth zero? Okay, 4 minus I. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put these back in their factored form. Okay? So our f of x is going to be, okay, your 1s, if you have your 0 as 1, that is your x minus 1, right? And we actually have 2 of those. We have a multiplicity of 2, so we'll write those down. Okay. Now we're going to bring in those imaginaries. Remember what I showed you right at the very beginning before we started. That is going to be in the format of x minus your real numbers. Okay, so it's going to be into this format. So we're going to start with, I'm going to put a bracket, we're going to start with the x minus and my 4 plus I, put it in parentheses. And then the conjugate, same thing. X minus the 4 minus I. Okay, That x minus 1 squared, go ahead and multiply that out. What do you get? That one's real easy and quick for you. Multiply your x minus 1 times your x minus 1. What's that going to give you? Okay, so with the x minus 1's multiplied out, that leaves us with our complex numbers. So you notice that I put the complex numbers in parentheses. Why did I do that? Yes, thank you. Because now, guys, we need to go through and distribute our negative sign. So go back and distribute your negative sign. So that would give us x minus 4 minus I. Now, that x minus 4 is considered the a, or the real part. Okay, so we're going to put that in parentheses. And then distribute your next one. That gives you negative 4 plus I. Nope, don't do that. And our x minus 4 over here, we're going to put in parentheses. Okay, so my a times my a is going to be my x minus 4 squared. And then our outer and our inner are going to cancel out just like they canceled out over here. And we ended up with just the x squared minus 4. And then I'm going to have minus my i's. And so that would give me what? Minus I squared. Okay. So now it looks a little bit easier to work with. Now we can do what? Now let's expand that x minus 4 and multiply it out just like you did the x minus 1. Multiply that out. So I'm going to bring, you guys do that, I'm going to bring down the x squared minus 2x plus 1 because that's still there. Okay. And now we're going to multiply the x minus 4 times itself. That's going to give you x squared. Your outer and your inner is going to be what? Negative 8x. And your last is going to be plus 16 minus your I squared. Ooh, can we do anything with that I squared? We can replace that with that negative 1. So minus a negative 1 is going to come back as what? Plus 1. Can we do any simplifying? Yes, we can. We have some like terms there? Yes. So finish that. So that would give us x squared minus 8x plus what? 17. And then bring down your x squared minus your 2x plus 1. Now what do we need to do? Now you're going to multiply those two together. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is what? Distribute, right? So you're just going to start with your x squared. Start with that one. Distribute it to all three of them. Go back with your negative 2x, and then go back with your 1. Okay, so finish that. Distributing your x squared. That's going to be an x to the 4th. X squared times negative 8x is negative 8x cubed. The x squared times the 17. Okay, now do the negative 2x. The negative 2x times the x squared is negative 2x cubed. The negative 2x times the negative 8x, positive 16x squared. And the negative 2x times the 17 is negative 34x. Your last one, just bring it down. X squared minus 8x plus 17. Okay, so when you add them all up, I'm going to bring the answer down here. So it's not, so you end up with it, stop moving. X to the 4th minus 10x cubed plus 34, x squared. Ooh, I'm out of room. Minus, it's stopping on. Minus 42x, of course. Hold on. Okay, minus 40, oh my goodness. Minus 42x plus 17. So if you did not get those specific numbers, you have a chance over the weekend to go back and